cool stuff went on in the entertainment world today too for us geeks. Um, what was the coolest news thing for you this week?
Coolest news? I don't know. Coolest news and biggest news are two different things. Um,
Okay.
the big,
Oh, I know what you're bringing up.
yeah. The big news I think kind of caught everybody off guard. Jon Stewart leaving the Daily Show. Man,
That's cool, dude. He's
I'm
got
a
a position with
big John
Arby's.
Daly
He's
fan.
good.
Big
Jon Stewart.
Jon Stewart. Yeah, you know what I mean.
John Daly too, the alcoholic golfer. Yeah, I'm a big fan of his also.
Yeah. I really love those pants that he wears while he plays.
Oh man, huge, huge.
Good stuff. Good
But
stuff.
You're a huge Daily Show viewer. I pop in here and there, and this week I've been watching them all this week because, I wonder what his ratings went. How him and his announcement helped his ratings this week. Because I know guys like me are watching a little bit more, but it is huge news in entertainment, and it does go along with geek news because I think it's something that a lot of guys in our lifestyle. It's a show that appeals to all of us.
Oh, definitely. Well, with him leaving, there's a lot of speculation as to who's going to take over for him. Um,
Man,
I mean, everyone's saying the forefront runner is Oliver, which I honestly, Oliver's done it, and I watched him over last summer, and I felt honestly like he was able to keep what the Daily Show is
but he's got
with
his
Jon
HBO
Stewart.
show right now.
He does,
That's
and
what,
that's the
yeah,
issue.
yeah. That's a great show. I love that show. Um, the what's it called? I'm sorry. This he
It's
does
like
the weekly on
it's
Sunday
like
night.
last week's news tonight or
Yeah, last
something
week
like
tonight
that.
or something like that. Yeah, I that's a great show. And I don't know if you'll be able to pull him away from HBO. Um, I don't know what his ratings are, or anything like that. So maybe that makes a big difference for a guy like John Oliver. I think there's some, another thing. I didn't even realize you were down.
That's all
Um,
good.
it's a lot of comedians are getting put in the mix. For daily shows, a tricky thing. You got to find that guy who has political knowledge. Um, is a comic genius. It's a big show. Kilborn before Stewart. I think Stewart did a lot better than Kilborn. Um, but I think that they're gonna have a hard time finding somebody to fit those shoes. Colbert was doing as good a job, if not better. I'm a bigger Colbert fan, and obviously Colbert's gone. He's taken over for Letterman. Um,
So you can still at least get your Colbert fix.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Colbert he'll be doing late night on CBS when Letterman leaves. Um, no one knows what Jon Stewart's going to be up to. He's kind of announced on his show that he's got a lot of ideas and things that he's thinking about, but one's not working at Arby's.
Yeah, I saw
But
that. Well, I have a list of some of the people that the media right now is throwing around as far as the possible comedians fill-ins for Jon
cool. Who
Stewart.
do you like on it?
Um, well, who like I said, I think Oliver's still to me the hands down the best replacement they could have. Like I
Yeah,
said, he's already proven himself that
he'd be the guy
he can
for
follow
sure.
he can follow. I mean, I think it'll be just a face change more than a total revamping, readjusting of the show. Some of the people
Mhm.
that they have are obvious, like Samantha Bee, Jason Jones, Asif Manvi. The guys
Guys
that
that are
are
already
running
contributors.
that.
Yeah.
They're already there. And then there's also some talk. I've heard Chris Rock, Amy
Mm.
Schumer, Amy Poehler, Olivia Munn, Sarah Silverman. Although I think none of the latter are really a real fit for it, besides the fact they're
They're just
comedians.
speculation. Probably
And
none of
and,
them are actually going to do it.
and
Although I'd turn into Olivia Munn. Olivia Munn does it. I'm tuning in.
of course you
Putting
would.
that out there.
I remember from her G4 days.
Dude, seriously. Attack of the Show. I loved that stuff.
Oh yeah,
Um.
definitely.
Anyway, a name I saw that was interesting is Ricky Gervais. I love his comedy. I'm not sure if he's got the political edge. I have no idea. He's English, so a lot of the Daily Show stuff is American politics. So I don't know if you get that angle, but Gervais is funny, irreverent humor um, that would draw viewers. But so it'll be interesting. It'll be a very interesting thing going on. So what else we got?
Oh, let's see. We have Spider-Man going
Talking
to.
my
Yeah,
language.
yeah. Tell us about Spider-Man.
Dude, Spider-Man going to the Marvel Cinematic Universe is huge news. It's something that's been, ever since they started putting out these Avengers movies, and all the Phase One Marvel stuff with Iron Man, Captain America, the Hulk movies, all that stuff. They've been talking about, how do you ever get Spider-Man back involved, and the X-Men a little bit more, but I think Spider-Man was the biggest get. I think that was the smartest thing for them to go after, and the X-Men franchise with Fox is probably doing way too well for Fox to ever give them up. But they've kind of caught Sony in a spot where they can afford to get rid of Spider-Man a little bit because the box office draw isn't, but the draw is there, but I think the critical acclaim isn't there for the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, which disappoints me because I actually liked it. What's your opinion on the Garfield Spider-Mans?
I'm not gonna lie. I haven't watched any of the new Spider-Mans.
Oh,
I'm
you're
not as
killing
big
me,
as
Smalls.
I'm not as big a Spider-Man fan as you.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah, I
I think
that's
the Garfield Spider-Mans to me were, you know, as far as you lining them up and comparing them to the Maguire Spider-Mans, I think it's on par. A lot of people like Maguire better. Um, but it's kind of a catch-22 for me because I'm excited for him to be in the Marvel universe, but I'm also kind of bummed that that the Garfield stuff isn't going to continue because I thought they did a really good job. I think focusing on Gwen Stacy instead of Mary Jane was awesome. As a Spider-Man reader, that's just that's more appealing, especially when you're talking about origin of and story of. But what Spider-Man they bring to the Marvel universe is up for debate as well. Do they bring in Peter Parker? Do they bring in Miles Morales? Um, which I don't know if you're familiar with Miles Morales from the Ultimate Universe, but when Peter Parker dies in the Ultimate Universe, Miles Morales is kind of a disfranchised an African American kid that takes up the Spider-Man mantle and becomes Spider-Man,
uh
kind of as Peter Parker was a hero of his. So it's a really cool idea there, and it could be a fresh outlook. But introducing him, it looks like he's going to drop with Captain America: Civil War, which is a perfect place to introduce Spider-Man. As far as comic book fans go, I think introduce him with the Avengers group and the what we've already got going on with Marvel Cinematic Universe. Just because in the comics that was a really cool important storyline. What's interesting is if they introduce him with Captain America: Civil War, Spider-Man opposed Captain America in the Civil War comics. He was on the Iron Man side, so it'll be interesting if they kind of bring him in as as not a villain, but as kind of an adversary to Captain America in the Civil War movies. You don't know how closely they'll follow those comics, but yeah, it's a big deal, man. They've pushed back a lot of their other releases, Ant-Man and uh, Immortals and or Inhumans, sorry, and what else was there's another one that was pushed back a little bit just to kind of make room for a full-on Spider-Man release, um, which is exciting because Spider-Man's my number one. Spider-Man's my number one Marvel guy that appeals to me, always has as a kid, uh, and I'm very, very excited about it. So, um,
see, I think part of the reason why I didn't watch the new Spider-Man movies is I just felt like I was like, man, didn't they just come out, with the Tobey Maguire ones, and it felt like they
yeah,
revamped a series that didn't necessarily need to be revamped.
they just
That's kind of
ruined
this.
it though with that Spider-Man 3 hitting during that writer's strike. They really couldn't recover the magic of those Tobey Maguire movies, so relaunching it was very smart at the time. Um, but it wasn't really working out. Although I enjoyed it a lot. So
I need to check them
I'm
out.
excited to see what
I'll
happens there.
check them
Yeah,
out.
watch them. I mean, they're great. I like them a lot. So definitely watch them, and I'm excited to see where they go with it. I'm curious to see if when they do Avengers 2 here this summer, if they'll have a little Spider-Man tease at the end of the Avengers are famous for their teases at the end of the movies, and I'm wondering if there's gonna be a little Spider-Man tease, which would blow my mind. So,
I'm
um,
betting there will be.
more to come on that for sure.
Awesome.
Um, we are both big Walking Dead fans, right?
Ooh, Walking Dead.
Is
I'm
back
not. I can't really be too
with a
excited about the last
vengeance.
episode.
Oh,
I'm
dude,
not.
it's hard to be excited about it, but it was a great episode. I mean, you had to, right? I mean, did it not have you, or did you not like it a whole lot?
I'm not gonna say I didn't like it. I thought it was kind of cool how they had the old the hopefully no
All
spoil.
right, we're talking
The spoilers
spoilers.
are done. They're done.
Spoilers,
If
yeah,
you're
no
here,
spoiler
you're
alerts.
spoiled.
Yeah, exactly. Just
We left you out of the fridge for 2 weeks. You're spoiled. Um, so having the dead characters like kind of come back and him just kind of losing it just it's so crazy. You never really think of Walking Dead being as deep, psychological as it can be sometimes. And I think
those
that's
are the
what this
best
last
episodes to
week's
me, though.
that was what this last week really showed, compared to other episodes that they've had. At least that's what
Very
I took
little
away from
action,
it.
very little zombie killing, which I always tend to like those episodes a little more. Um, and it was cool. I mean, there were throwbacks from the very beginning of the episode. They're doing a little funeral scene, and you're just assuming that it's for Beth, right when it launches, and then they kind of do some flash forwards, and then as this episode goes, you understand what those were. Um, yeah, the characters talking to him. They brought back the governor. Like we haven't seen him for 2 seasons.
Man.
Um, bringing back the creepy little girls, those those stupid girls. Um, I thought it was a great. I loved last week's episode. So, but I'm gonna miss the fuck out of Tyrese, man. I love that dude. So,
Yeah.
I'm shocked that that's a character that they took off. Just 'cause I think he's probably a huge draw, but um, we'll see where it goes from here, man. I mean, they lost some
Exactly.
muscle, and they're not in good shape for it. They lost the muscle with the heart, man. That's what I always referred to Tyrese as,
That's
muscle with the
funny.
heart.
Muscle with the heart.
So,
It makes me
and
kind of wonder.
that's what the episode kind of focused around too, is that he always left himself a little vulnerable to being put in that situation because he cared a little too much about people and about humanity. And he was the big brute, but he was probably the most caring dude in the group. And I don't know, it's rough to lose him, man. I don't know who else fills those shoes.
I'm
So,
thinking that the guy from the very beginning that Rick met up with, I forget his name.
oh yeah, oh man, yeah. At
That
the
was in
very end of
that.
the episode,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think he's gonna come into play.
Oh, well, I mean, obviously he's gonna come into play. He's there. There's a little teaser at the end of the episode, um,
But
and
sooner than later
yeah.
is what I'm
But he
thinking.
went a little crazy, man. He wasn't a very caring dude either. He went nuts. So we'll see what happens. Is he gonna be a good guy, a bad guy? Is he gonna come in and help out, or is he gonna cause more shit like he did last time that he appeared? So we'll see what happens there. So
Definitely.
Walking Dead's exciting. I'm glad it's back. It's one of those shows I think a lot of people are excited to see back. Did you know that during football season there was a couple times The Walking Dead eclipsed the Sunday night NFL games?
It does not
That's
surprise me.
that's absurd, man. That's just ridiculous. I mean, it doesn't surprise me either 'cause it's such a great watch, but man, for anything to compete with NFL is insane, and The Walking Dead's doing that. We all love it for it.
Oh yeah,
So,
definitely, definitely. And every time I watch that show, I take the seat back, and I'm like, man, think how much money these guys are making because they're out
dude,
there
it's
filming it.
stupid.
They're out there filming like the top show on TV, while I mean they're out running around in the Georgia,
Hmm.
wilderness. They're
Yeah.
like the costs are what nothing. All they're paying for is their makeup they're filming and they're
I don't think
actors.
that's cheap, but I mean
I'm no
that paying a
not
whole lot for locale
well,
probably, but
they don't have as much overhead. They're just paying for the actors per episode, and you cut a good chunk of them out every episode, then it'll lower those costs real fast.
you wonder if
Maybe I
that's
just
how
look
they
at it
make
from
their
the
decisions.
business.
If that was the case, then Rick and Daryl would be gone a long time ago. But
That's funny.
um,
We're paying those guys. No, that's one thing I don't think that they can recover from is getting rid of those two guys. People have
Rick
already
and Daryl will never
protested.
die. Yep.
They're gonna be Terminator zombie hunters is what they are.
Oh, you think so?
Well, who knows?
Just keep
It'll
going.
just end. It'll just end, and they're still alive. They're like, yeah,
No,
we're just
Rick.
still doing
I
our
think
thing.
if if you think that Rick and Daryl are ever gonna die, if they ever do, I will be blown away and shocked, and it would upset a lot of people. A lot of people. So, um,
I would agree.
so anyway, um, all right, man. It is Valentine's Day tomorrow. Whenever you're watching this, it might fall around that time. So we are gamers, we are geeks. So we're gonna tie in a little bit of a Valentine's deal for you, and talk about what's your number one. You're married.
I
I am
am.
currently single. But
Hint, hint.
I haven't
No.
always been that way. Yeah, exactly. Hint, hint. Uh, what's your favorite couple co-op? And you're in a different spot. If you're lucky enough to be in Duff Dude's spot where your girlfriend or wife is a gamer as well, his co-op's can be a little bit different. Couple co-op a
Oh,
little bit different than yours and mine. But what's yours? Your and your wife's couple co-op
we
for
have two
Valentine's Day tomorrow.
we have two big games that we play all the time. That you know, hey, let's get in here. We can just have fun, get after it, and it's like we never left. Um, both, and you'd never expect this. One is Diablo 3. We both
I
love
knew
getting
you were
into
gonna
some
bring. Yep.
Diablo. And the other is pretty much pick a Borderlands game. Both of
Nice.
those games are huge. Man,
Whenever those
we've
come out,
sunk
you guys
so
are
many
doing them
hours.
together, huh?
Oh yeah, we played Borderlands 2 together, the DLC, the pre-sequel. We bought Diablo 3 on both Xbox 360 and Xbox One and PC. Here's the thing that I have to let everyone know is we actually have two TVs and two Xbox Ones, two Wii U's, two 360s, two PCs in our living room. So we can't just play together on a couch co-op. We have to have our own setup. So
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 when I told them that you had a gamer girl, I wasn't kidding. You
no,
have
you
a
definitely were
a
not.
true gamer wife. So I'll
As
give
good
some
as it
more
gets.
traditional answers to it for those out there that aren't lucky enough to find that, and like me. Um, my favorite so far, probably a couple co-ops that I've had in the past. Number one's probably Mario Kart. I think Mario Kart is a perfect couple co-op that almost every guy and girl loves equally and can have a great time on. Real easy, um, and competitive. I think it's a perfect game to get in stupid little couple fights on Valentine's Day, and then and then be able to make up with it later on. Um, Another one that I'll bring out is Rock Band. I had a great experience with Rock Band with a girlfriend at one point, where we made our own band, and I was on bass, I think, and she would do guitar and vocals. She would strap the microphone up to her deal and do play the guitar and do vocals, and we had a great time with that. So, um, we're just wishing you guys a happy Valentine's Day. If you don't have a gamer girlfriend, grab one of those. If you do have a gamer girlfriend, pop in Diablo and game it up with your girls this
That's
weekend,
it.
and get
She'd
out
probably
there. You
like
can
it
be
more than
gamers
she'd probably
can
like
be
it more than she thinks she
romantic.
will.
Yeah, absolutely. Gamers can be romantic, but put down the controller for a little bit. Tell your girl you love her. If you don't have a girl, play for an extra hour. That's what I'm gonna be doing
Well,
this
I
weekend.
actually
So
got my wife a the Majora's Mask 3D for Valentine's Day. That's why I
nice.
ended up
So
getting her no roses, no flowers here. We just went straight for good stuff.
jeez,
So that's
insane.
actually
You're a
what
lucky
she's
man.
doing right now.
Good deal.
Good deal. Well, I'd like to
Well, man,
thank everybody for tuning in, coming and checking us out. I'm Duff,
I am Sesame Seed.
and this was episode 1 of Geek On Weekly. If you like what we're doing here, go ahead and drop us a like and subscribe. We plan on doing one of these shows every week, talking about the recent video gaming and geek news that happened, and keeping you guys up to date, giving you our opinions, just giving you someone to listen to if you're
Give us a Twitch
bored.
follow.
Yeah, Twitch.
Pick up our gamer tags, guys, because we would love to play with you guys, and get on there and have a cool community. So
Definitely, definitely. You can follow us on Twitter at Geek On Channel. YouTube will be Geek On, and on Twitch is Geek underscore On.
cool.
So,
Twitch
well,
loves those underscores.
I think everybody's got an underscore in their username on
Yep.
Twitch. Well, thank you so much
All
for
right. Yeah.
everybody for tuning in, and